Send conditional emails on Google Form submission automatically. So assume that your customer has submitted a Google form and you have received a new response. So here I will teach you how to send different emails based on the responses they have selected at the time of form submission. And I am going to automate this process by connecting Google Forms and Gmail with the help of an automation software. And believe me, any non-technical person can create this automation very easily. So if you also want to learn how you can automatically reply to the form submitter based on the choices they have selected, then come with me and I will show you everything step by step. Now to automate this process, I am going to connect to Google Forms and Gmail with the help of an automation software, Pabbly Connect. Here you can notice I am an existing user of Pabbly Connect, so I am already logged in. You can also create your free account in Pabbly Connect in just 2 minutes from the sign up free button, and in the free account you will also get free tasks to test this automation. Now once you will reach to the dashboard, click on this blue button that is create workflow and provide any random name to your workflow, to your automation. Okay, so I have pasted the name as automatically reply to form submitters based on form responses. Okay, now after providing the name, simply click on create and then you will notice 2 boxes in front of you. Okay, so these are actually trigger and action, and here trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So whenever this happens, then automatically do this. So basically you need to always select the applications here in which you are building an automation. So according to our use case, whenever any form submission is made in Google Forms application, then automatically send an email based on the responses they have selected via Gmail application. Okay, so I have selected both the application in this trigger and the action window. Okay, now the idea here is I'm going to connect these 2 applications one by one with the Pabbly Connect. Okay, so firstly I will select the trigger event, that is new response received, and as soon as I will select this trigger event, you will notice a webhook URL and a few set of instructions. Okay, so firstly I will recommend you to follow these instructions very carefully. Okay, so copy this webhook URL and go back to your form which you have created. Okay, so I have created this travel inquiry form and I want to send a conditional email to the form submitter. Basically whatever the place they are going to select for the traveling, I would like to send the brochure of that specific place. Okay, so I have already prepared 3 brochure of these places. Okay, here you can notice I have added 3 choices in this form, that is Kerala, Manali and Northeast, and I have already created 3 brochure for the same. Okay, here you can see these 3 links are actually the Google Drive link. If you have the same link for your WordPress website, then also it is going to work. Okay, let me at least to show you one brochure so that you can understand that what exactly I am planning to do. Okay, so here you can notice I have created 3 brochure. Okay, and as soon as someone is going to select a choice, I will automatically reply to that customer, to that form submitter along with this brochure. Okay, so how I am going to do that? Firstly, you'll have to open the spreadsheet which is associated with this form. Okay, so I have opened that, and then after that I am going to submit this form and collect the form submission details here. Okay, and once the details will be collected here, I am going to build a connection in this Google Forms and Pabbly Connect with the help of this spreadsheet only. Okay, let me maximize it so that you can see the data very clearly. Okay, so firstly I will submit this form. Okay, I am previewing this form and I am going to provide some dummy details at the form submission. Okay, so this is the travel inquiry form. Please share your traveling requirement with us and one of our team will reach out to you very soon. Okay, so let me provide some dummy details. Okay, so the name of the person is dummy user, assume that. The email address is demo@pabblytudes.com. Alright, I have provided the email address as well. Asking for the phone number, again I will add some dummy number like this. Okay, so I have added the phone number as well, and now finally I will select a place. Okay, so how about I selected this Kerala place as a form submitter. Number of people going to travel is 2 and number of days you are planning to travel is 5. Finally I'm going to submit this form, and firstly the details will be collected into our spreadsheet, and finally I am going to connect this spreadsheet with the Pabbly Connect. Okay, so I can simply close this landing page. Okay, so let me first copy this webhook URL, go back back to my spreadsheet, opening this extension, clicking on add-ons, clicking on get add-ons, and here exactly I am going to search for the Pabbly Connect webhooks add-on. Alright, so I'm searching for the same. Here you can notice, and here you will notice that this add-on is already installed into my account. Okay, but if you are building this connection for the first time, make sure you always install this add-on. Okay, and once you will install this add-on, you will find the same add-on under this extension section only with the name of Pabbly Connect webhooks. Okay, so simply click on this initial setup and then a dialog box will be appear. Okay, and in this particular box only we are going to paste the same webhook URL. Firstly, I am going to delete the existing data, and now I am going to paste the same webhook URL which we have received via Pabbly Connect. Basically, with the help of this URL only, I am going to build a connection in these two. Okay, asking for the trigger column. Okay, so firstly I will read the instructions that the trigger column will be your final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row data will be sent to the webhook URL. Okay, so basically it is asking you to provide a column name that on the filling of which particular column this data should be sent to Pabbly Connect. Here you can notice it is actually waiting for the data, waiting for the webhook response, or you can say waiting for the form response. And here it is clearly written, log into the application where you have added a webhook URL and do a test submission record so that the data can be recorded here in the webhook response. So basically it is asking to do a test submission. Okay, well, I have already done this test submission, and here I have the test submission data, and as soon as I am going to provide the column name, okay, in this particular case I will provide the column name as G because I want that whenever the new form submission is arriving, of course that data will goes up to G column. Okay, that is my last data entry column of this specific sheet. Okay, so I have mentioned the same, clicking on send test, and here you will notice the whole row data will be sent to Pabbly Connect. Let me submit it this first. Okay, and I will close it directly. Here you can notice the setup has been configured successfully. Now when I will come back to Pabbly Connect, you will notice a response is received, and it is the same response, basically that form response. Okay, let me show you. Here you can notice these are the same details, the same name, the same email address, the same choice I have selected, the same phone number, the column name, and here we have other details also. Okay, so the presence of this data clearly shows that connection in between our Google Forms, or you can say in between our spreadsheet and Pabbly Connect, is working absolutely fine. Now onwards, what will happen? Every time someone is going to submit this particular form, okay, so the details will be captured via Pabbly Connect automatically, and from here only I am going to send the emails, the autoresponder to the form submitter. Okay, but before that you'll have to enable one more very important settings, that is send on event. Okay, so if you want that this data should be sent automatically on form submission, okay, you'll have to enable this send on event option. Okay, so I have enabled it, and here you will notice that this is tick mark. That means it is going to ensure that as soon as the data will arrive here, that data will be sent to Pabbly Connect. Okay, and let me tell you one more very important thing, that is whenever you are working with the Google Sheets or Google Forms, make sure either you work into the incognito window or multiple Gmail accounts should not be logged in at the same time. I repeat, whenever you are connecting either Google Forms or spreadsheet with the Pabbly Connect, make sure either you work into the incognito window or multiple Gmail accounts should not be logged in at the same time. Otherwise, you will get an authentication error. Okay, so the first step of our automation is absolutely done. Now I want that based on the choices, the replies should be sent to the customer. Okay, so here currently the customer has selected this specific choice. Okay, so in order to automate this process, I'll have to build 3 scenarios for each places. One for the Kerala, another one is for the Manali, and third one is for the Northeast. Okay, so how I am going to set these 3 scenarios, how I am going to set this condition. Okay, so firstly I will remove this particular step because I am going to provide this Gmail step within my condition. Okay, how you can do that? simply click on this plus icon and search for the router feature. Okay, this is the router feature. Well, it is an amazing feature of Pabbly Connect via which you can build different scenarios. Basically, you can define different kind of condition. Okay, if X condition is satisfied, this particular step should be executed. If Y condition is satisfied, this particular step should be executed. Okay, so in this way you can add as many as router steps as you want, and in this way you can set as many as conditions as you want. Okay, and here I will be adding total 3 condition. Okay, one is for the Kerala. Okay, so how about I rename it? I'm sorry for that, let me rename it. Okay, if response is equals to Kerala, okay, then this step will be executed. Okay, so let me update it, and further we will rename these 2 steps also in the same way. Okay, if response is equals to Manali. Okay, if response is equals to Manali, and third step I will be setting up for the northeast. Okay, let me again click on this 3 dot and click on this rename, and lastly I will write it as if response is equal to northeast. Okay, I have renamed these 3 steps. Now I am clicking on update, and finally I am going to apply the conditions with the help of filter. Okay, so firstly I am setting up the automation. I am setting up a condition for the Kerala. Okay, so if the customer choice is actually equals to Kerala, then what should be the next step? Okay, I am going to set this specific scenario. How I can set this scenario? If you will open this drop down, you will see this is the same data which we have received via Google Forms. Here you can notice, so I just need to search for that choice. Okay, so which place you would like to travel. Okay, so whenever the answer is equals to Kerala, okay, make sure that you write it exactly. Okay, whatever the spelling you have added here, make sure you write the exact spelling, exact word. Okay, so Kerala, and yes, I have defined the same. I'm sorry for that again. Okay, now I'll be clicking on this button, and you will notice that this condition will be true. Now why this condition is going to be true? Because in our case currently the customer has actually provided the Kerala only in his choice. Just in case if the customer has selected Manali or northeast, of course our filter step will give us a response as false, and this condition is not going to true. Our second condition will be executed. Okay, so if this condition is true, what should be the next step? Because currently the customer has actually selected the Kerala only. Basically it should send a reply via Gmail. Okay, so that is why I will be selecting Gmail only, and now I am going to connect Gmail with the Pabbly Connect, just like we have connected Google Forms and Pabbly Connect. Okay, so I have selected the action event. Simply click on connect, then I'll be clicking on add a new connection, and then you just need to provide the access of your Gmail account. Okay, well, I have already provided this connection multiple times, so how about I go with the existing connection, clicking on save, and this is how my Gmail account will be connected with the Pabbly Connect. Now I just need to provide the data, and this is how I will be able to send my brochure, send my email. Okay, so basically it is asking for the recipient email address. So here I would like to send a reply to the form submitter only, so I will add the email address of the form submitter. And the interesting thing is, I don't need to manually copy the previous data and paste it here. I am going to map this data, and mapping is very simple. Click on this field and you will find the above data here in the drop down. This is how you can map the data successfully. And what is the meaning of mapping? So whatever the details you will map here, these details will be replaced automatically when this automation will work in real time, or you can say in next time. Yes, this email address will be replaced automatically when you will receive a new form submission. Okay, so this is how this automation is going to take place, and that is why mapping plays a major role inside this automation. Okay, I will just provide the data only into the important in the required fields. Okay, so asking for the sender name, so how about I write something like ABC Tour and Traveling Company, or I can say agency. Okay, traveling company. Okay, so I have provided the sender name. Asking for the subject line. Okay, here's your brochure. Okay, and I also want that the name of the customer should appear here. So again I am going to map the name here, and again the name will be replaced automatically. Here's your brochure dummy user. Asking for the reply to, again I will leave it blank. Asking for the email content type, well of course I'll go with the plain email only. Asking for the email content, well I have already prepared a nice and a small email into my notepad, so how about I directly copy and paste it here. Alright, so I have copied. Let me paste the same. I think I have mistakenly removed that, closed that, and I think my Gmail step has been removed. I'll have to add it one more time. Okay, give me a few seconds, I'll add it. Alright, so I have reconnected and filled all the data once again. We were here exactly, that is email content. Okay, so let me paste the same email here, and then firstly I am going to correct the formatting of this specific email. Alright, the formatting of this email is done. Now I am going to add the data. Okay, so basically here I will add the name of the customer, and as I have told you earlier, this name will be replaced automatically. Okay, so let me map the name again in the same way. Okay, so where is the dummy user name? I'll have to check. And here is the name which I have mapped successfully. Thank you for sharing your traveling requirement with us. You have selected dash place for traveling, and we are sharing the brochure of the same attached with this email. Here's the brochure link. You can also find the same PDF in the attachment. Okay, so firstly I am going to add the place which the customer has selected, and remember the customer has selected which option? Basically the Kerala, and again this option will be replaced automatically based on the customer choices. Okay, here's the link to the brochure, so I am going to copy the link from my notepad which I have already shown you. Okay, I have already shown you this Kerala brochure. Let me exactly copy this link and paste it here. Okay, so, well, this is something which I don't want to change automatically, so that is why I have added this link manually, and whatever the details I am writing here manually, these details will remain same, and whatever the details I have mapped here, these details will be replaced automatically. Alright, moving further, it is asking for the file name and the attachment as well. Okay, so here also I am going to paste the same link so that the same file should be sent as an attachment also along with my email. Asking for the file name, so I can provide any file name, random file name. Okay, so how about I go with this. Okay, now finally I am going to click on this button, and you will see how an email will be arrived on my account, and this is the same email account which I have provided here. Let me show you. This is the same email. Okay, that is demo@pabblytudes.com, and it is the account of same form submitter. Okay, finally I am clicking on this button and wait for the response. Okay, fingers crossed. And here you can notice the response is received, which is positive because it is saying the response result status is sent. Let me go back to my Gmail account and let me refresh it and check whether the brochure is arrived or not. And here you can notice the email is arrived. Let me open this email, and firstly you can notice this is the same subject line, that is, here's your brochure dummy user. Okay, hello dummy user, thank you for sharing your traveling requirement with us. You have selected Kerala place for traveling, and we are sharing the brochure of the same attached with this email. Here's the link to the brochure, and if I will open this link, you will notice that it is the same link, and here we have the attachment also, one into the PDF format and another one into the Google Docs format. Okay, so I am going to open this specific format in front of you, basically this PDF format. Okay, and in the link also you can notice that it is the same link. Okay, so this is how you can set a scenario, set a condition for all the three cases. Okay, so the first case is done. Now I am going to close this specific step and will set the condition for the second router for the Manali basically. Okay, so instead of doing everything from scratch, I can even clone the exact step so that I don't need to connect my Gmail once again. Okay, so let me show you how you can do that. Firstly, I am going to delete these two steps. Okay, don't worry about that, we will sort it out. And here in this three dot you can see an option of clone is provided, and as soon as I'll click on this button, you will notice the same step will be cloned here also. Okay, let me show you that. Alright, so it is asking make sure to save the route before cloning. Well, I think I have already saved it. So clicking on this clone button, and here you can see one more step has been added here. Basically it is a clone step. Okay, so firstly I am going to rename this step as Manali. Okay, if response is equals to Manali. Okay, let me delete the same, and here I will write Manali and will remove this bracket, clicking on update. And now when I will click on this filter and action step, you will see now you do not have to do everything from scratch. These two steps are already added. You just need to change the condition. Okay, so in place of Kerala I will define here as Manali. Okay, because I want that this step should be executed only when this specific value is actually equal to Manali, when your customer has selected the choice as Manali. Okay, clicking on this button, and this time you will notice that the condition will be false, because remember at the time of form submission we have provided the value as Kerala. But don't worry about that, your emails will be received, your emails will be sent for sure. Okay, moving further, we are going to set up everything in our Gmail step, because I'll have to set up this when this condition is true. What should be the next step? So it should send the brochure of the Manali. Okay, so I'm going to do the same. Well, the recipient email address will be the same, the sender email address will be the same, even the email subject will same. And here you can notice, hello dummy user, thank you for sharing. Well, the same email will get sent. I just need to replace the attachment link. Okay, so let me open this link from my notepad. Okay, I'm sorry, from my notepad. Okay, firstly before I paste this link into my email, firstly I will show you this link. Okay, this is the package of Manali. Alright, here you can see Shimla, Kufri, Kullu and Manali as well. Okay, coming back, and I will be adding the same link here, and in this case also I will replace this link, because I want that this Manali brochure should be sent as an attachment, and in place of Kerala I will write it as Manali. Okay, clicking on this button, save and send test request. And whenever you are setting up the condition in the router first times, doesn't matter whether your condition is true or false, you will always receive the email even after the condition is true. Okay, so let me show you in the first time how you will receive an email. Let me refresh it. And here you can see the second email is also arrived, and we have the same subject line. The only thing which we have new is this link. Okay, this brochure. Okay, let me show you this brochure once again, and yes, it is the same PDF file. Okay, so again let me tell you, this is how now onwards you can automatically send a reply or based on the conditions your customer is selecting. Now finally I will be setting up the same condition for the last scenario, that is Northeast. Okay, so again I am going to clone the same step. Okay, asking for the save. Well, I have already saved it. Okay, and here you can notice one more step has been cloned. I'll again click on this three dot, and firstly I will rename it as Northeast. Okay, I have provided the same, clicking on update, and finally I'll click on the set filter and action step, and here you can notice the condition is already exist. I just need to replace this Manali as Northeast. And again let me tell you, whatever the values you have provided here, the values, the spellings should be exact at the time of setting up this condition. Okay, now I'll click on this button, and you tell me what is going to be the response, whether it is going to be the true or false. And here you can notice it is false. Now tell us why it is false, because at the time of form submission we have selected the value as Kerala, so that is why this time this condition is false. But what will happen when this condition is true? What will happen when your customer will select this Northeast as a choice? Basically it should send the brochure of the Northeast. Okay, so I am going to replace few things only. Okay, that is this specific Kerala brochure link. I'm sorry, not Kerala, Northeast brochure link. Okay, so here I will show you the Northeast brochure which I have prepared here. And yes, this is the brochure for the Northeast. Coming back to my Pabbly Connect dashboard, and here firstly I will add the same link here also, and I'm just going to replace this attachment value, attachment link also, and finally replace this name also, the file name, that is Northeast. Finally I'll be clicking on this button, and again I am going to refresh my Gmail. Let me wait for the response to receive. Well, the response is received. Coming back, and let me first refresh my my Gmail account. Well, here you can see the email is already arrived and it is the same subject line, the same email. Let me check for the brochure. And yes, it is the same brochure. Okay, so this is how now onwards, every time your customer is going to submit your form, based on the choices they are selecting, now you can automatically reply to your customers. You do not have to do anything manually. Simply set this automation inside Pabbly Connect just once. After that, you can sit back and relax, because as soon as the form is submitted, our automation will automatically send emails, the condition emails, with the help of router. Okay, just in case if you want to access this automation inside your Pabbly Connect account, I will also attach this link into my description box. You just need to click on this link and sign up into the Pabbly Connect, and then you will be able to access this workflow, this automation inside your Pabbly Connect account, that too for free. Not just these applications, you can integrate multiple applications and automate your business with Pabbly Connect. You can ask your queries at forum.pabbly.com. My team will surely answer to your questions. This is the website of Pabbly Connect, and for the latest updates of Pabbly Connect and unique automation ideas, you can join our Facebook group, that is formget.deals. If you have found this video helpful in any way, share it with your friends and colleagues and also help them to automate their business. Like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video.